Hi everybody, good day. I was reading the Bible and I came across this and I decided to share it. Job chapter 2 from verse 4 to 5. It says, Then answered Satan the Lord and said, Skin for skin, all that a man has he will give for his life. But stretch out your hand and touch his bone and his flesh, he will curse you to your face. This was when the children of God gathered and Satan also gathered with them. And God asked him what he was doing. He said he was going to and fro, up and down in the earth. Then God asked him if he had, this was the second time God was asking him. He asked him in chapter 1. And then the second time, this is the second time God was asking him if he had considered his son, seeing that his son is blameless and without sin, even though that he made him to cause him to go through such difficulty in the first chapter where he made him to lose all his property and children on the same day. Then the reply of the devil was that you have not touched his body. When a man is sick, this was the reply the devil was trying to give to God. Skin for his skin, a man will give everything for his life. That when you touch his body, his flesh and his bones, that such a man will curse you, God, to your face. That was the reply the devil was giving to God when he asked him about him. And then God replied in the subsequent verses that he should go and he is in his hands, that Job, he has left Job in his hands, but he should not touch his life. That he can do whatever he wants to do to him, but he shouldn't touch his life. That Satan now went and struck him with so much illnesses. Now, why did this one stood out to me? Why did this one stand out to me? It stood out to me because, number one, as a Christian, whenever you know that you're doing things right and everything, you're okay, your Christian life, you're not at fault in any form, and all of a sudden you begin to experience difficulties, affliction, especially in your health, know ye that it is the devil that is trying to make you to curse God. He knows that when he afflicts you with your body, you will be in pain. Sometimes, this is the reason why Christians, dedicated Christians, they go through sicknesses for treatment. Because normally, if they lose money, they will still have hope in God. If they lose their property, they will still have hope. If they lose even their children, they will still have hope in God. But when they are struck with illness, you see that that person who is dedicated, begin to do other things by going to native doctor to look for sickness. To look for cure to his or her sickness. That is, the devil is intentional, knowing that when you are struck with an illness, that you will curse God. You will try as much as you will no longer have that faith in God. That is why most times people go through sicknesses, unnecessary sickness. All of a sudden you're sick. You do everything right. You've been going for a check, but the devil is targeting your relationship with God. That is why he usually sends sickness to people. Now, when he knows that when you are sick, you will cause God, or your faith will drop. This is the antics of the devil to bring you away, take you away from God. Now, this video, I'm trying to make this video to tell anybody who is going through any of this now, keep faith alive. Believe in God just like Job. Job did not speak against God. Believe in him and know that this is the plan of the devil to take you away from your master, to make you to curse God, and then he will be the one to laugh at last. Do not allow him to make you to do that. Whatever you're going through now, whatever you're doing now or going through now, all you need to do is keep on praising God, keep on believing in God. It is difficult, yes, but then know ye that him that liveth, your master. The Bible says in the book of Exodus chapter 16, it says, I am the Lord that healed thee. Chapter 15, I am the Lord that healed thee. So he is the person that healed thee, even though that he might keep quiet and let the devil try, because the devil will boast. You think this one trusts you, you think this one loves you, just let him force it. Now you see, he will abandon you, he will leave the choir, he will leave that ushering job, he or she will leave this place, and she will go to another, come to me and go to native doctor, and that is the devil trying to tempt you. Prove to him that you love your God. Tell him that he cannot take you away from your living water. For God is our source and our strength. Don't you allow situations, difficulties, whatever be it, to take you away from him, because that is the plan of the devil, to separate you from your master. So when you stay strong like Job did, God replenished and restored everything that Job. If you read down the book of Job, you see that he became wealthier than he was on the past. He became wealthy and had the most beautiful children, the most beautiful daughter, and his wealth multiplied and increased more than 1,000 times than the one he had before. That is what happens whenever we face temptation. Know you that after the temptation, there is a breakthrough in front of you. If you can overcome that temptation and keep your faith alive, be strong in the Lord and overcome that temptation. I tell you the truth that the blessing that will follow you will be so enormous, will be so great that you begin to wonder, wow. So if you're facing any temptation, I don't know who I'm talking to, but if you're facing any form of temptation at this point, this is the time to remain loyal to God. This is the time to remain faithful. This is the time to keep praising him, worship him. Let the devil be thrown into shame, because he wants you to cry. He wants you to leave God alone. He wants you to despise God. This is the time to say, no, in you, oh God, I live in you I have my being. Do not let him move you away from him, because God is your maker. If you move away from your maker, the Bible says, him that go to other gods multiply their sorrows. Do you want to multiply your sorrow? No matter what you're going through, know that the Bible says the plan he has for us are of good and not of evil. The plan to give to us an expected end. Whatever that it is that you're going through now, have this verse in your heart that God loves you, and whatever his plans for you are of good. Don't say, where was God when I went through this? Where was people usually make that statement? That is bad. In the previous verse, in the chapter, he says, and after all these things happened to Job, they brought the news to Job. What did he do? Job shaved his hair and went naked and sat on the ashes and said, God, and worshipped God. Can you see that kind of faith? He worshipped God, even in his tribulations. Another one came, still he didn't utter any negativity to cause God. And the devil was thrown into shame. Until many people, even his wife, told him, why don't you curse God and die? Job didn't listen. So you're talking like one of the foolish women. Do not be like those people who will say, curse God and die. Where was God when this? Where was God? Is God, and he still is God, and he can continue to be God. And nothing can change him from being God. So that is what you have to understand and put it at the back of your mind, that God is God. And he has the capability, the power to do all that and to change situations no matter what. All you need to do is be obedient to his words, remain faithful, stick to his word, and don't you ever waver in your faith. You will rejoice. You will testify. You will be congratulated. Whatever be it you're going through, you may be a beautiful girl, you're not yet married, and you have a good character, you worship God, and yet you're not married. Continue being faithful to God and continue serving him. Let your intention, let your whole desire be to please the Lord, not man. He knows your situation. He knows what you're going through. Don't think he doesn't know. He knows everything. Remember the time the Israelites were going through all those difficulties. He heard from heaven. And remember the covenant he made to Abraham. I said, no, I have to set these people free from Pharaoh. And he did. So what do you think? What makes you think that your own situation is greater than God? A God that made a way in the Red Sea. A God that was the pillar of cloud in the day and the pillar of fire by the night. Who rained the bread, manna from heaven. Who rained quails. Who provided water in the desert. Should be your thought at all times. Don't you ever allow the devil to think that God is not seeing you. That God is not seeing your good works. No.